right, guys, big news. Before I get into climbing Mount Baldy, last Sunday I got a permit on July 29th to climb the tallest mountain in the continental United States, Mount Whitney. At 14,505 feet above sea level, this is going to be the most physically challenging day of my life. In fact, probably the history of my family's life, except for my mom who gave birth to 4 boys. The hike up to Mount Whitney is 22 miles, about 7,000 feet in elevation gain, and only 1/3 of the people who attempt it actually make it to the top. I have to do it within 24 hours, which means you start climbing at like 3 in the morning. Another fun fact is that you have to bring your own container. If you do a number 2 on the trail, you have to pack it in the container and take it back out with you. So for Mount Baldy, I hiked 11 miles and we did about 3,500 feet in elevation gain at around 10,000 feet above sea level. So I think it's safe to say that climbing Mount Baldy is not even half as hard as climbing Mount Whitney, but Mount Baldy was really hard. So at this point, I don't feel ready to climb Mount Whitney, but I think with a little bit of training in the months of June and July, I can be ready. I'm planning on doing the 6 Pack of Peaks challenge in Southern California to prepare to make sure that I can climb Mount Whitney. So in this video, I'm gonna share how I got the permit to climb Mount Whitney because I was originally denied in the lottery system. I'm gonna share how I plan to prepare to climb Mount Whitney and also take you up Mount Baldy, which was my first step in preparing to climb Mount Whitney. Mount San Antonio, also known as Mount Baldy, is the tallest mountain in Los Angeles County and definitely a bucket list hike for any Angelino. It can be 80 degrees and sunny in Los Angeles, and you look up at Mount Baldy and it's covered in snow. I went with 4 of my hiking buddies, and after scheduling and rescheduling 3 or 4 times, we finally found a date when we could all go, and I'm glad we did. We did an 11-mile loop with 4,000 feet in elevation gain. What does that mean? Well, it means it's pretty darn steep. We didn't need to use our hands very much, but it was a pretty steady incline. The first part of the hike takes you to a waterfall called San Antonio Falls. Then you'll quickly ascend to a ski hut, and after that, it's just non-stop incline until you get to the top. One of the things I love about hiking is the hikers that you meet along the way, and we met a few really cool people on this trip. All right, so we came across this really amazing hiker. Her name is Ellen, and Ellen made it up to the top before we did, right?
Yes, but I also left early.
You left earlier. Okay, Ellen, can you share? You wouldn't share how old you were, would you?
We're 60, almost 69.
Almost 69 years old and running up and down this trail. Any advice for someone who's in their 60s who might want to hike this hike?
Just start out slower pace, smaller distance, and then you start building.
Yeah.
You build up the distance, and then you build up the pace. It's conditioning.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And who could resist the fun of posing by a fallen tree? Yes, Miss Teen USA. Give it to a Miss America. Oh, yes. Oh, God. Oh, don't fall. So we ran across another awesome hiker. What's your name?
Marina.
Marina. You almost quit, right?
I almost quit twice. I almost quit twice, but...
You said it was so beautiful that what?
I cried.
Wow.
It was so glorious, I cried.
Wow. People who live in Los Angeles don't get to see a lot of snow, so when we do, we have to play in it.
For the video?
Yeah.
Get
him.
Video.
Get him. We have less than a mile to go to the summit.
Who's carrying me? It was so windy up at the top, we even came across this little mini tornado-ish thing. After a grueling hike up the mountain, we reached the top of Mount Baldy, the highest point in Los Angeles. It was like a giant party at the top. People brought flags from the US, California, Mexico, and El Salvador. We saw dogs and people of all ages. We even saw people dressed up in lucha libre outfits, which is the Mexican version of WWE wrestling. It was super cool. My favorite part of the hike was taking Devil's Backbone down the mountain. I love hiking along a ridge where you can see expansive views on either side of the mountain. The ridge was rocky and colorful and just a lot more enjoyable because going down is just easier than going up. There were a couple moments on the trail where it was like one misstep and you would have been a goner. So definitely a fear factor on this hike.
Got a video.
Look at all of this. We did it. It was really hard, but we did it.
I don't know what that is. Looks like desert, valley. I love this hike. Actually, it really hurt, but I still love it. It hurts. Really good. So for the last part of the hike, we found a ski lift, and instead of hiking, we decided to ride that down the rest of the way. Mount Baldy was a wake-up call because it was hard, and I know that Whitney is going to be twice as hard. In order to prepare for Mount Whitney, I've decided to take on some or all of the 6-pack of peak challenge in Southern California. There's 6 mountains involved. Mount Baldy is one of them. There's also Mount Wilson, Cucamonga Peak, San Bernardino Peak, Mount San Jacinto, and San Gorgonio. I also plan to arrive at Lone Pine, California, which is close to Mount Whitney, a couple days in advance to get acclimated to the altitude. Make sure to subscribe if you want to tag along. And now I'm going to talk about the lottery system. So if you want to climb Mount Whitney, guess what? So does everyone else. So they have a system where between February 1st and March 15th, you submit your request for a permit to climb Mount Whitney. I waited, and on March 24th, I got an email saying that I had been denied. So at that point, I thought, oh darn, well, I guess I don't get to go this year. I'll have to try again next year. Well, turns out there are other options. On May 1st at 7 a.m., all the people who didn't claim their lottery permits, those become available then on the website. So I logged in right at 7 a.m. and quickly snagged a date on July 29th. Keep checking throughout the year for any cancellations as they come. Keep logging in and checking to see if you can get a permit. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to tag along as I prep and go to Mount Whitney. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.